Well, hello, everybody. You are watching The Main Viewer, if you can believe that. Boy, oh boy, today we're going to be announcing a few secret things about Virtual Trek Con 3. It's going to be really cool. We're going to be talking about something that just dropped recently, some news of a new Star Trek movie coming out as soon as next year. Also, a Star Trek anthology series. Whoa. And you know what? There was a funny meme going around yesterday and I liked it. So we'll talk about that too. If we have time. If we have time and there's other stuff, but let's go ahead and get into it with Dr. Mohamed Noor. He's an occasional Star Trek science advisor. He's the Dean of Natural Sciences at Duke University. He laughs at jokes. Great guy.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be on The Main Viewer. Thanks for having me. So much great stuff happening. Can't wait to talk about it.
We also have Melissa Longo here, who's an actress, an entrepreneur. She makes stuff. She's cool.
Hi there. I like laughing at jokes too.
Even your own.
Even my own.
And we've got an associate producer of The Seventh Rule. She's our resident web crawler. She knows everything about Star Trek except for the stuff she doesn't want to know. Dr. Anne-Marie Siegel.
Oh, hi. And we already have in the live chat my favorite inside joke from For All Mankind from DJ Kitty Cat. Hi, Bob.
What is it?
It's really cute. It's a Bob Newhart For All Mankind crossover, which you'll get when you finally watch For All Mankind.
Okay. Bob Newhart likes Amstel Light.
I know. That's
dinners.
my favorite fact about him.
He used to be my regular at a restaurant in Westwood, and he and his wife were always very nice and were always very wonderful with me. And he would always order an Amstel Light with dinner and drink about half of it.
Okay, since you told that story on Seventh Rule, I started ordering Amstel Light sometimes so I can feel like Bob Newhart.
That's weird.
It's like the best promo ever.
Cool.
Hi, Bob. Bob is getting a lot of love right now.
Love the finale for Newhart, the series. Do you guys remember that?
So good. I also have like three brothers, and I like to introduce them as like, this is my brother, this is my other brother, this is my other brother.
Larry, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. Larry but in the 70s there was the Bob Newhart show, and then in the 80s was the show Newhart. The finale of Newhart at the very end, like he like woke up and he was back in the Bob Newhart show with his wife. So the entire series was a dream.
That's funny.
Family Guy.
And Medallion in the live chat says, "Smack that like button like it owes you money."
Oh gosh.
Good job, Medallion.
I just got triggered.
Hello, Rose Kirby out in the UK. Thank you so much for joining us. We know it's a very late night for you, but Rose Kirby says, "Oh, hello, everyone. Anne Marie, Melissa, Mohammed, Ryan, good morning from the 16th of February. Hello, and a Rose."
Hello, hey, Rose. Woo.
If you put Chief O'Brien and Rose Kirby together, you have Colum and Rose.
I get it.
Yeah, Anne Marie doesn't.
I don't get it.
Okay, let's go ahead and talk about all the goodies we have to talk about today. Oh boy, we have a late joiner, everybody. Can you guess who it is?
Oh my gosh.
Speaking of joiner, the Olympics are happening. Remember Jackie Joyner-Kersee?
Yeah.
So it's Scott Baker, everybody, and he's popping in just a second, wherever he may be. And he can talk to us all about the great editions of Virtual Trek Con 3 when he does finally pop up, which was supposed to be now, but it's not.
And 1, 2, 3 now.
Dial up.
And 1, 2, 3 now.
Yeah.
Okay. So
also,
Mohamed,
all-star cast in the live chat, which we'll pepper in saying hi to everybody.
Okay.
But what a day.
Scott Jensen says, good old Ryan. That was like, if that That's the cyber version of patting me on the head.
Oh my gosh.
Nice try.
I'm like obsessed with Scott Jensen's recreations of Deep Space Nine episodes with action figures that are going on in the Seventh Rule group.
Gosh.
Yes.
They're amazing.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. In fact, we should pull one up right now for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
So
Cisco Ducat one.
We just released our review of Waltz. If those of you remember Waltz, it was the episode in which Cisco and Ducat are going, neck and neck at each other in a cave, right?
Not necking though.
Not naked.
No,
not naked either.
Not naked. No.
And so Scott Jensen. Let's pull this up here.
It's really cute.
Scott Jensen in the Seventh Rule group. So if you want to see all of these, check out the group, the Seventh Rule on Facebook. And this is his recreation of.
I have like
Waltz.
an obsidian order
Nice.
sign to pose Ducat on.
Nice.
So cute.
Who's winning that fight? It's tough to tell.
We
Ducat
are.
looks sick.
But then look, he also has the ear, the headphones and Starfleet Command. Perfect. Looks
little
like there's a
Ferengi
Ferengi
ear.
ear in the corner.
He's keeping his ears open. Yeah.
Seventh
Is that a
Rule.
Jake or a Nog leg over there?
It
No,
looks
that's
like it.
that's Quark.
Aw.
Or-
Because I have that figurine too.
Oh my gosh, cute.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good to see you, Scott. Oh wait, you're still not here. Anyway. Yeah, I swear he was there for a
He
second.
said he wrote Noogie.
Boogie.
Okay, that's funny. That's funny, Scott.
That is funny.
Really fun.
Okay, so you know what? Let's just, while we're here on Facebook, let's point out the other fun Facebook related news item. And by news, I mean just a funny meme.
Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
And he's
What does
taking
the
us-
mug say?
I don't know. How? I don't know.
I don't
I think it said something powder, maybe. I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Weird.
So anyway, so that is
Tetrasalt powder.
Morn being very funny.
Yeah.
As usual. I don't know where who made that originally.
That's a fun one.
Sorry, but if that was you that made it, thanks.
Good job.
More looking super buff in that picture too. Wow.
Always looking. Where are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always got the squishy buff.
Yeah.
Like-
Like, seen anybody?
On the YouTube feed, you could actually see Scott Baker's square popping up for a second and then disappearing.
Hmm.
Hey, dial up.
Anyway, so Mohamed, can you give everybody a recap of what happened over the last few days with regards to polling? Not results, but
Yeah, I
just what
understand.
we did.
Absolutely. No, of course. So on the main viewer last week, we talked about the last set of nominees. So remember, we had 4 broad categories of nominees. We had new Star Trek, which is 2020, 2021 specifically. That's essentially the pattern that will go forward. It'll be yearly. We had legacy Star Trek, which is Star Trek. Hey, Scott.
Hey.
Legacy Star Trek, which was basically pre-2017. We had Star Trek Universe, which was everything, and then we had this Renaissance era, which basically filled in that
Love that
gap.
name.
So the early seasons of Discovery as well as short treks. So we had a suite of questions that were all on a Google form. We got tons of replies from all over social media on it. So I mean, it was a Google form, but you could link to it from social media. Thank you to everybody who participated. We got wonderful things from that, and we've assembled it. And we pulled out any duplicates. There are only a couple, so actually that was fairly easy to do. And starting in March, you'll get to find out who the big winners are for all those categories.
There are a couple people watching
Neek's
right now that are
trying to
like,
duplicate.
shit, he caught my duplicates.
Yeah. He got my
Mohammed was in there going like, I found
yeah.
two.
There's
There were
duplers.
2.
I was just about to say no duplers in the voting
Yeah.
pool.
Yep. No, don't
Scotty
be a
Baker is
Vorta.
here, ladies and
That's
gentlemen, by
ballsy.
the way.
Woohoo.
Writer, director, producer, Steadicam op, dude.
Yeah.
What's this, guys?
Yeah. I had a little trouble getting a slightly different setup today, so I had trouble getting everything going and then pop-up notices. But here I am.
Awesome. So Mohamed's catching everybody up. But Mohamed, is polling still open? Like, if I wanted to vote, could I be like, oh wait, you have a voting system for the winners of the first ever of all time in the universe Star Trek Awards show? I want to vote.
Short answer is no.
Next year.
No.
Next year.
There is a long answer though, that we might reopen something later, not to vote, but to try to guess who won. But we haven't done that yet, so that's to come later. But yeah, the voting is done. The votes have been tallied, and then we're going through the authentication process, checking for the hanging chads, doing all that stuff. So that process is done. But hey, there's always
hanging chads.
Sorry, reference.
I'm not touching that one.
It was a Bush Gore election reference.
Oh, good memory.
Gotcha. Florida. Yeah.
That's so
2000.
Yeah.
2000.
Yeah.
That was
exactly good memory. It was Florida specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember that back in the day where you would read it on the newspaper.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, but that was a good spin, Mohamed. That's true. That
I wanted last time on the main viewer though, before we talked about it.
For those of you that missed out on voting, you may get your chance on something that might even be more fun. Who knows? Especially for you gambling folk out there.
Mm-hmm. Oh. That one will be interesting because we'll actually know who won, and maybe we'll somehow recognize people who won. Maybe don't know.
What are the odds? Let's call Haz.
11-1 is what we've
43
got.
43-1.
Well, based on the last discovery, 45-1.
Oh yeah, 45.
So Scott, you may have missed, but when Anne-Marie was looking at the polls, she said one of the funniest things ever a couple weeks back when we were watching the polls and all this stuff. Or no, maybe it was the Memeing Consortium. That's what it was, the Andorian Memeing Consortium. Yeah. She said, "Oh my God, this is so fun. Is this what sports is like?"
Yeah. But I've also since then taken that a step further in trying to recreate my own sports center for post LAPPys, which there will be more to come about.
Wow.
Oh,
yes.
That is a fun tease.
Love
so
it.
everybody,
what I am now.
What Anne-Marie is referencing, without us getting into too many details yet, is that we will also have an after show. For those of you that don't turn off the TV when the game is over, and you watch the experts, the ones that have laced them up,
the greatest minds,
talk about the game and what they should have done and what they were surprised by. We're going to have post-game analysis
with the greatest minds in analytical minds in Star Trek. Yes.
Scott's laughing. He's like, I didn't see anything in my email. I must have missed that invite.
Exempting us. Yes.
So Ryan, you mentioned the Andorian Memeing Consortium. They were on fire on Valentine's Day.
My
I don't know if you guys were watching
it was
all
the best thing ever.
That was amazing.
Those Valentines were like, I would totally buy those in a cardboard box and give them out.
Hilarious.
Some I was like, wow. You gotta have some balls to drop this.
Yeah. And it was amazing. That's my favorite, I think. But
yeah.
Gotta check those out.
All right, now we're teasing everybody. Do you want to tell them what the Chakotay one was?
Oh my God, I'm gonna blush.
Still better than the Lower Decks one.
Oh yeah.
Which also, okay, you got to share these things because I didn't see them.
Oh, I didn't share to my.
They're not for your eyes,
blushing
Melissa.
So hard. I was like, my mom follows my account.
The Lower Decks one was the classic picture. I think I should tell you everything.
Oh,
oh my
but
gosh.
I like that part.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if the pun was intended or not.
I don't remember what the Chakotay one was. I remember it was funny, but I don't remember what it was.
Oh my God. I can't even say it. I also can't remember the exact
type it, I'll read
it. We'll pull it up. Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Here it is.
But you have to, it's a Voyager reference.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have to know what this Voyager reference is. So I guess Mohammed, would you like to read it out?
Pull it up. I don't remember what it is. Oh God. It says, "Be my Valentine, and I'll use the bone of my ancestors to make Yakuchi Moista."
Be my Valentine.
God.
I love that it still does the to from.
Oh my God, that's so bad.
That's like one to send to your teacher. That's like the good one that's on the box that you have to cut out.
Gucci moist.
There's just the thing that
I was like giggling about it for
Yakuchi
days.
Moya, you know, the thing. That's what I'm saying. You have to know.
Freaking brilliant.
It's a real deep cut here.
It is.
In more ways than one.
Anyway,
That's a good
okay. Whoa, boy. There's more of these, but maybe we'll sneak a few in as time progresses. But let's announce to the good people here for the first time ever some of the participants in no particular order that will be joining us for Virtual TrekCon 3. Everybody in the live chat, if you would like to know who's going to be a part of Virtual TrekCon 3, just type in Yakuchi. They're going to be like, I don't know how to spell that. It's too long.
VirtualTrekCon.com /
Oh my God.
Type
the number 1 and we'll.
Bone of my ancestors.
Okay. We are seeing a lot of ones. So we are going to first announce the biggest surprise of all. This is somebody that may shock you. So hang on to your ones. Thank you, Gaylinda. This is it. Sirach Lofton will be joining us. He will be
my
Jake Sisko himself.
That's awesome. We love Sirach.
Did you manage that?
Robert Kaiser says number 1. Also, here's another very cool person that you may or may not know. Mr. Garrett Wong will be joining us.
Ooh.
He played Lieutenant Harry Kim.
Oh my
on
gosh.
Star Trek Voyager.
Wow.
Everybody in the live chat is shocked about the Sirach Lofton announcement.
Even if not surprising, it's still totally cool. We love Sirach.
So surprising.
Best. He's still a rare.
Sirach is what makes this engine go. So, Mohammed, would you like to make the next announcement?
Sure. Should I say the one that I know for sure? Oh, yeah. So we're actually really excited about Star Trek Discovery because there's new episodes coming out right now. But if you go back to seasons 1 and 2, there was the esteemed Jane Brooke starring as Admiral Katrina Cornwell. Woo-hoo!
Amazing. A good admiral.
Yeah, a good admiral for once, right? A naughty admiral.
She was
Didn't even have to
amazing.
bribe her with canapes or anything.
Oh, and Scott,
Ooh.
who looked like it's cool. This thing's like placed right behind you.
Yeah, little bunny ears.
Bunny ears.
If I hold on just right.
You're going to be doing another editing job with Mr. Tom Supernant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Without getting into any official details yet, but everybody at home, you will get another creation, another alien creation by Emmy Award-winning makeup effects guy Tom Supernant. Remember, he turned Rico E. Anderson into a Klingon, a perfect Klingon. He turned Tracy Coco into an amazing
Oh my God.
Cardassian.
She was so hot.
What will he do next?
Also, he has like amazing makeup tips.
Yeah. Well,
I went out and bought those Kiss eyelashes he used on Tracy to make her a Cardassian. They looked so good on her.
Nice. Well, I think the highlights is always his fun behind the scenes stories that he gives of his time working on Star Trek. We'll see if we can get some the juicy stories this time.
Oh, I love when Scott Baker also like coaxes the stories to come out a little bit from behind, from off camera. That's my favorite part.
But I will say that my conversations with him is we're going to get another classic alien race. So you can type in your predictions. Maybe that can be in part of the predictions for like the LAPPy award predictions. You know, maybe people can predict which we could make it a surprise, because normally I think we put in a little thumbnail like last time we did, you know, Tom Superman does a Cardassian makeup demo, so maybe this time we'll make it a surprise when you have to tune in and see what the creation's going to be.
Yeah, that's right.
True.
I'm so excited. They're
and
so amazing.
I'm already making my prediction right now. It's going to be an Edosian.
Ooh.
That's the 3-armed, 3-leg guy from
you dork.
in the animated series and in Lower Decks. Edosian Eric's. Well, that didn't go over well.
It's just not a surprise anymore when you mention him like every episode.
Edosian.
We also are going to have our good friend, we know her, we love her from Star Trek Prodigy, Bonnie Gordon will be joining us. She does the ship's computer. Everybody loves Bonnie. She's going to be great. We're also, might as well, right? We're doing something new called Star Trek Lost Episodes.
Oh my God,
okay.
this is the coolest thing ever.
Okay. So you guys, we want more Deep Space Nine episodes, right? But we know it's never going to happen. We're never going to get those more episodes. There's just no way. However, what if there were a lot of episodes out there that were pitched and considered, and maybe some were almost made and some weren't? Why don't we go over those and talk about those and really noodle through those things and explore these lost Deep Space Nine episodes that could have been episodes, might have been episodes, but never actually made it to production.
Well, I have to tell you, like, my favorite part about that. So, like, for TNG, there was a whiteboard in the writer's room, like, where they kept track of like failed pitches that were very common. And one of the most common ones was, like, for example, Jack Crusher's like pitches. People loved pitching about that. So my favorite part about this idea is in my head, seeing who gets pitched the most. Like, the most common pitches that didn't work were. And so, I'll be whiteboarding that in my own apartment.
Nice.
So we have, and the people joining us are the writers that actually pitched those episodes, and they'll walk us through the episodes. We'll read them aloud, the treatments to them, and they'll tell us, you know, sometimes who they pitched it to, when it was, you know, September 1995. Picture it, season 3, Deep Space Nine, and they'll tell us who they pitched it to and why it was ultimately rejected, or how close it was to actually making it to production. So you can actually really soak these up as though they happened. I mean, to me, I feel like when we're going over the story, it feels like I'm experiencing another Deep Space Nine episode.
And you know, like, the statistics for getting those picked up are so crazy. Like, I think at one point it was like 1 in 17,000 pitches. So it's really cool.
1701. 1 in 1701.
Yeah, it's really cool to hear from people who like had successful ones, and also kept track of the ones that didn't, to study from. So I can't wait to hear them.
Sounds amazing.
It's such a great idea and so fun. Story time. Who doesn't like story time? It's amazing.
I wonder how many of those became books.
Interesting.
Yeah, you can almost think of them as sort of like the extended universe canon, is a way. It's like, this actually happened.
Totally.
It just didn't actually get told in an episode, you know, so you can sort of, you know, fill in the blanks of certain characters or something.
That's exactly how I feel about it. Unless somebody dies, you can just look at it as this actually happened. They just didn't make an episode about it. Like if you made an episode about Jake Sisko losing his book and going to find it. How do we know that didn't happen on a Wednesday and the episode we watched was on a Thursday or something, you know?
Right.
Oh, true.
It's out there.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Another
It's gonna be
person that
awesome.
will be joining us. Boy, this is a fun one. Nana visitor,
Ooh,
Major Kira.
big one.
Major.
Journal.
Yep. So everybody that loves Major Kira and or Nana visitor, you're going to be in for quite a treat. And we've got quite some good things planned for her. What's another one that we can give away right now? Mr. Dan Curry, everybody. He's a visual effects supervisor for Deep Space Nine, Next Generation, Star Trek Voyager, Enterprise. He created Klingon weaponry. He created the main title sequences for Voyager and Deep Space Nine, and probably the others, but I can't confirm that right now. I don't know that.
Not
for
Enterprise.
Sure. Not Enterprise. Really cool. So Dan
I
Curry's
knew
there.
Marina Kravchuk would be excited about Dan Curry. And he has a new book out that's amazing, The Artistry of Dan Curry, which is actually on sale right now on Amazon for 40% off.
Really? Oh,
yes.
well, we will definitely talk about that. But go get that book. It's called, what is it? The Artistry of Dan Curry?
Dan Curry, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Check it out on Amazon. It's mind-blowing.
Mm-hmm.
It is mind-blowing. All right. So that's just a few. We've got a whole bunch more coming. But we just did a few.
I have to say, like, I watched one Dan Curry interview a while back where he was talking about making the Voyager credits. And he was talking about how they conceptualized the Voyager ship. And he just like used those like plastic spoons from the cafeteria and like lined them up right side up or like upside down. I think that's such a, now I like always think about that when I watch the Voyager credits. So I can't even wait to hear like what new cool stories he tells. He's so amazing.
Did he design the what's it called, the Dreadnought, the one that showed up at the finale of Prodigy?
Oh, interesting.
I don't know.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Maybe it's not called Dreadnought. I forget what it was. The ship that we saw Janeway on.
The
which was originally in a Voyager episode. What's it called?
Isn't it like the something less?
Dauntless.
Dauntless, yes.
That's it. Sorry, I was saying Dreadnought. My bad. Dauntless. Yeah.
I can't remember who I saw tweeting about that. Or it was like half Voyager, half the ship that showed up in Voyager. Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't remember now. It's all blurring together. But yeah, my book's on the way. So then I'll know a lot more.
Man, I texted something I thought was funny to Scott and he didn't react.
Oh crap. Oh ouch.
He never reacts.
Is that what caused the bird?
He's stone cold killer. All right, well, let's move into news of the week, Star Trek news of the week. So everybody stick around for more information on Virtual TrekCon 3, but that will be, now he disliked the funny thing I sent. He actually, yeah. So Virtual TrekCon 3 is going to be March 18th through March 21st. The first ever Star Trek Awards, the LAPPy Awards, will be March 20th. That's a Sunday. You're going to love it, and we're going to give you more information on that soon. So many big guests, so many great events. It's going to be so much fun. That award show is just going to
be awesome.
The coolest thing ever. It's going to be freaking amazing.
I'll be Joan Rivers in your tweets with your outfits. Yes.
It'll be Jones River.
Medallion's asking in the chat if we're going to have Mark Alimo.
Maybe.
Well, we want him.
We want him.
Maybe. We want him. Okay. So here is the big news of the day. First things first. Actually, this is not of the day. This is of like a week or so ago, but we didn't have time to cover it a week or so ago. And I don't know if it really got nearly as much coverage.
Take off the way it should have.
I think it should have gotten a lot of coverage. And that is right here. Star Trek Picard creator has pitched for anthology series starring classic characters, right? This is Akiva Goldsmith,
I'm
wants to
such a
tell
big fan of
stories
Akiva Goldsman. More and more
starring
every
other
day.
classic Star Trek characters. Goldsman is, sorry, I said Goldsmith. Goldsman is a longtime Star Trek fan who's given new life to past Star Trek captains. So basically, okay, here's a good quote. He says, "There's something that I like, which I think Robert Kirkman is doing right now with The Walking Dead, which is kind of, I'll call it Tales of the Federation, where you would just do one-offs, right? So you could bring George Takei back for an hour and just do a show about Sulu as an older man, or find Jonathan Archer having now retired from his Enterprise and being on Earth. Just do these certain really interesting ones." And this is such an amazing idea, because why couldn't they just pick up anywhere in time? It could be, it could be original series time. It could be Discovery time. It could be, 30 years after Star Trek Nemesis. Could be any time. They could follow anybody they want, or a group of people, and people would love it. I know I would. I would love to see Jonathan Archer having just retired from the Enterprise, for example. I'd love to see Sulu. I'd love to see, Jake Sisko is now a 40-year-old man doing whatever.
A podcast.
He and Molly O'Brien are tag team partners.
That'd be great through short treks too. I mean,
well, I was thinking it's
Exactly.
totally kind of like they were starting to say short treks might morph into, but I love that it would be full episode lengths, because short treks, like, they're always such a tease. Even I like that. Like, I just love this idea. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's more like a spoonful of ice cream rather than the whole bowl.
Even though I want the whole bowl of everybody, at least like an episode would be a really, at least if we can at least get a whole episode, that'll satiate me a bit.
And I think maybe get back to kind of like what original Star Trek used to be, these instead of a serialized show, the episodic, where you're not beholden to a storyline that arcs across the whole season. You can just tell 1 hour-long story that has a beginning, middle, and end, and has some moral, ethical dilemma or something like that, and like the old Star Trek and TNG used to have stuff like that.
I think
like for set building though, to do like one episode and then the set for just like that one episode. So maybe like if we write surveys, we can say like they did for Pike to get his own show.
I guess the brightest star was the short trek that was kind of like that, where it was a beginning, middle, and end. It was very much a bottle thing, but it was a good connector to everything else. With some
that was great too. Yeah,
it was a little longer than too.
It would be really fun if they do, and I know they won't ever do this. They love to promote, but it'd be really fun if they just wouldn't even tell you anything beforehand, so you have no idea what the upcoming episode is about or who it's about, and you're just watching it, and then you watch the first 5 minutes and you still don't know. You like watch, and there's like John and Jane, and they're sitting there having a discussion, and you're like, okay, what's going on? And they're talking about Starfleet Academy. You're like, okay, and then they're like, well, maybe we should talk to the superintendent. You're like, okay, who's the superintendent? What? And they're walking and they're doing this, and they're like, okay, we got to talk to the highest person at Starfleet Academy. And you're like, it's 7 minutes in, and you're like, who the is it? And then they walk in and they're like, Mr. LaForge or something like that. And everybody goes ballistic,
Well, first we hear like nuts. The door chime and then that. Yeah. Or the door whoosh.
The swoosh.
The swoosh.
Or they just keep throwing you for a loop. They're like, the greatest person ever. And we're like, okay, who's it going to be? And it's just somebody we don't recognize. And then we're like, wait, and then something else. And then like the butler walks in and it's Garrick. And you're like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. And Ensign Kim, can you? It's like 30 years later.
Or it's always Miles O'Brien and there's always a statue there.
Okay, that's
so fun.
Scott, that would be very funny if we're just seeing like a new starship and this whole new crew, and we don't recognize any of them, and they all look really cool. And we're going, they're in a battle and this and that, and they're like, status report, Ensign Kim, and he's sitting there holding grades, like shields down to 17%.
Oh my gosh.
Sure.
Maybe he had some cool arc where he joined the Maquis for a long time when he got back or something.
Oh,
He just kept getting demoted. He'd get up and then just kept happening, something would come up.
Okay, so everybody in the live chat and in the comments below, this is the most fun part. Tell us who you would want to see one of these anthology short treks about, a single episode revisiting a beloved character, and it really could be anybody. I mean, think about it. It could be somebody that just only was in one episode for all we know, or maybe we could have a whole season of Michael Eddington adventures. Oh wait, he's dead. Never mind.
But it doesn't say when it takes place. So
yeah, but then it would have to be a different actor. And I think the whole point would be bringing back the actors that we love.
Well, yeah.
But maybe they won't. You're right. Maybe they'll just say, okay, this is the new Sulu.
Like
or maybe do like a mixture of the two. Like,
I'd love to see where Tom Riker is. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is like the one storyline from Deep Space Nine that didn't get tied up.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, there was one other in Deep Space Nine that didn't get tied up.
Oh yeah,
and that was what the heck?
Laws.
What the heck did Riker do? Or what the heck did O'Brien do to Riker? Remember when in that Thomas Riker episode?
Yes.
He's like, he knows what he did or something like that.
I've been trying to figure that out. And
I thought like one of the writers said recently that it was kind of just like Riker knowing if he didn't make things awkward.
That's what I
that like O'Brien would have.
Okay.
Yeah, he's trying to end the conversation so he wouldn't get caught in a lie.
Oh. But it's weird. O'Brien wasn't like, what?
Yeah, like what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But that's what made me go back to TNG to watch through O'Brien's episodes to see what he did. And he didn't do anything. I was like, wait a minute.
He didn't
because
say
Tom was
when
part
he
of a
left Enterprise.
transporter accident, and like O'Brien used to be the transporter chief, so there's an association there. Like,
maybe.
Oh my gosh, that's brilliant. That is so smart.
He knows. We should ask O'Brien. He knows.
But also that like changeling laws or whatever, who went back off on his own. He was like one of the people that the founders sent off.
Yeah, but space is big. And
like the kid Jem'Hadar, who then grew up.
Oh yeah, little Jem'Hadar.
Little Jem'Hadar, that's right. That was his name.
Yeah.
Chuck A says Miles O'Brien and Dr. Bashir. It'd be cool to revisit them, right?
Yeah.
David Gregory says he'd love to see Geordi years later. Me too. I think that's a great one. Linda Anderegg says anything with Jake.
Yes.
Yay! Correct answer. Woohoo!
All right.
Yeah.
I actually have to say
I need a lot of Enterprise. That was starting to get good.
Captain
Esri Dax would be really cool because in the books I remember she moved up pretty quickly. Like I didn't know she ended up being a captain in the new trilogy that David Mack and them did.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's already there. Well, and then it got reset.
Maybe in the current timeline, it also happened. It's fair. Could happen both.
Mm-hmm. What about Wesley and the Traveler? David Gregory says.
Oh my gosh. I learned the craziest thing about the Traveler like 2 days ago, which somehow I didn't know.
Eric Menyuk.
Did you know that he was second in line to play Data for TNG?
Whoa.
Cool.
Fascinating. I heard that on Inglorious Treksperts this week. Nuts. That like blew my mind. I mean, you can kind of see it in his first Traveler episode, but I was still like, how did I not know this juicy tidbit?
Okay. Sorry, I was reading the comments.
Well,
I didn't know everybody was going to stop talking at once.
I also have Scarred for Life because somebody entered them as like the best fling in Star Trek, which got like 1 vote by the person who added it to the poll. But still,
yeah, there were a few of those
turning
where
that
people
over in
would
my
add
mind.
Wesley, the Traveler and Wesley as a fling, and we're like, that's
Really disturbing.
Yeah, I can't get it out of my mind.
Big age difference. Like,
I was about to say he was a child.
Yeah.
It's been disturbing me a lot this week.
You?
Yeah. Yeah. So that one. Now, of course, Medallion says he wants to see what the Delaney sisters are up to.
Oh, good call.
But we all know the real one.
They're in Venice.
The number one. Episode 1 is going to be Melora, the later years, right?
Oh yeah, that's gonna be. Yeah. You want to see her fly out of the chair again?
You love Melora.
Well, did she ever become accustomed to gravity, or what? Did she go back to her own planet?
Oh, you know what would be great? It would be Tosk.
Oh
my gosh, we were just talking about that in the live chat.
Really? Oh man, I missed that.
Husk.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
Yeah, any of those things where we last left them off, it was kind of like they've been changed forever, and then their life was going to hit a new trajectory. It'd be amazing to like revisit those one episode characters and see like, did they really
like
change?
TNG
Did they go back? What happened?
Totally. Whatever.
So yeah, this is something that was just, I think it's an amazing idea, and it would give us such fan service. Of course, unless the fans were like, I don't like, they could not like what happened to the person's life. Like they could be like, we're revisiting Tom Paris, and everybody's like, yay. And they're like, yeah, he's a gardener and an alcoholic and went to jail. And people are like, I don't really like where this episode went.
I mean, but there's so many possibilities with Tom Paris, not Tom Paris. Oh, never mind. I'm thinking Tom Riker.
Oh, it's probably safer.
Lisa
to
likes
do
Tom
that.
Riker.
Yeah.
It's probably safer to do the low stakes people like Tosk and Melora, because like there's no big expectations there. Whereas Tom Paris was like his high expectations. So.
Super interesting.
Oh, yeah.
I just love it. Can we get 26 a year? I want so many.
Doubt it.
I only brought up Tom Rikers because there's possibility with the war and the fall of Cardassia that he may have gotten out of jail.
Mm-hmm.
Or
you could just have an
crushed
episode,
in
like in Picard, in a Picard when we went to see Riker and Troy, their house, like they're there, washing dishes like they were or something, and then there's a knock at the door and they open the door and Tom Riker's there like,
dun, dun, dun.
Oh my gosh. That's a sitcom.
Is in order to save money on production, they don't want to like create an entirely new set every single week. Obviously they could, but that's something that they could do. Is, for example, if they're shooting like another Nepenthe episode with Deanna and William Riker, then they can kind of do it like what they do with the short treks, which is once that Picard episode is done shooting, now they shoot that legacy Trek episode of the Rikers on Nepenthe and what's going on with bunny corn pizza or whatever that thing was.
I hope Paramount's listening.
I mean, Brightest Star basically was that. They used the same lake in Canada that they filmed various episodes into.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And especially now that they're using that AR wall.
Just do what they did for Mandalorian. Just everything's in front of a video thing.
Good call.
Because they haven't.
Or we could
all the weeks in Toronto.
We could catch up with that Klingon ship at the end of Trouble with Tribbles, and that they were infested with all the Tribbles, and see what happened with them.
Oh my gosh!
You could see what happened to make the Klingon Empire decide to go and exterminate all the.
Oh my
gosh!
Or we can see the opera about it.
Oh,
no,
I want to see that.
Done by the EMH.
Yeah.
I'm reminded of what my friend Morn once said.
Oh, you're getting so good at this Morn impression.
Ooh, the new EMH, the EMH from the other ship that was attacking the Romulans.
Prometheus?
Andy Dick?
Message in a Bottle, Prometheus?
Exactly.
I love that episode so much. That's where I start my Voyager rewatches.
Or what were those the nanobot, the
nanoprobe?
The guy, the nanites, the three guys that were flying around.
Oh,
wait, which guys do you mean?
I can't
Are you talking about Superman too?
No.
General Zod.
No,
right.
what Peanut Hamper was in Lower Decks.
Exocomps.
Exocomp. That's what it was. Yeah, we could.
Exocomp.
Zod. Oh.
So, yeah, let's move on because this is just that's way too good, and we could go on forever about it. And I really, really hope that they give that the green light. That is such a great idea, and everybody will tune in. I think that's huge. So the next thing to talk about is this is from actually just today. This is breaking news, and it's from our good friends over at trekmovie.com. And when I say good friends, I mean our good friends at trekmovie.com. So Star Trek 2023 movie to reunite the Kelvin crew, production set to start by the end of the year.
That's amazing.
Ooh,
Look at that
alien in the back.
Wait, also I'm really into seeing what your sponsored ads look like.
Star Trek stuff.
No, but there's that jewelry one up
I know, like what we would.
That's kind of whoa.
Oh,
heirloom jewelry.
How are they going to address? I guess they have to address the whole Chekhov loss, huh?
Yeah.
You guys, I'm going to stop sharing screens if you're going to be looking at jewelry advertisements when we're trying to talk about Star Trek.
Well, it was difficult to miss because
you made
it
me
was
scroll
between
up
her
for a
cleavage.
jewelry thing.
But
you guys are like, oh, there's a Ryan. Go, okay, it's a jewelry.
No,
there's already been some tweets going out that are quoting J.J. Abrams from a few years ago, saying that if a new Star Trek, like Star Trek 4 of the new Star Trek was ever made, they wouldn't recast Chekhov.
Oh yeah, I would assume that they've got to move on from that. But they'll probably have a couple other like new characters or something.
A Kyle.
Janice Rand.
Kyle. Eric. Yeah.
Eric's. Okay. So back to this is today, the previously announced Star Trek feature film set to be released in the holiday season of 2023 took a big step forward. It may finally be happening today during an Investor Day event for Viacom CBS, now being renamed Paramount. Producer J.J. Abrams announced plans to start production on the next Star Trek feature film by the end of the year. According to Deadline, the planned film will bring back the crew of the previous Star Trek movies, with talks underway with Chris Pine to reprise the role of James T. Kirk. Deadline also reports the plan is to bring back Zachary Quinto, Zoe Saldana, Carl Urban, John Cho, and Simon Pegg. That's all of them minus Chekhov, of course. So far, there are no details available regarding the plot line beyond the inclusion of the Kelvin cast. Last month, Simon Pegg talked about how the cast has been eager to reunite again. So I don't think we have, to my knowledge, any idea or any rumors at all swirling on this, right?
Well, I think later in the article, it does say who's going to be writing and directing it. It's based off a script, I think, that's already been written, I think is what the article says. And the director
but what's the plot going to be?
And the director is from WandaVision, I think.
Yeah, Cameron. It says Cameron Squires. It was written by Josh Friedman of Avatar 2 and Cameron Squires of WandaVision. And WandaVision's Matt Shackman to helm the film. I guess I don't know if that's direct or just executive produce.
Fly the ship.
The director.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Fly the ship.
I think that's going to be really, I mean, first of all, if there are no rumors out there about what the plot's going to be, let's make some.
Yeah. What's that?
Well, if it's the WandaVision people, maybe they're going to have like the cast be in all sorts of different TV shows across time too.
Oh, I would love that. I love old TV shows.
I heard it's going to be about
Thomas Riker
going to the mirror universe with Thomas Riker.
Oh, there you go. They'll be in Three's company.
Thomas
Riker, yes. Oh my gosh. Amazing.
But yeah, that would be really cool. And before we hit record, we were talking about this a little bit. And I was saying, actually, it'll kind of be nostalgic to see those guys again.
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't been that long, but it feels like it's been a while. It'll be really nice to see,
like a while.
see them again, right?
They're cute.
Yeah.
Anne-Marie, you didn't like those movies?
It's been a while.
Oh, they're cute.
Okay.
I love that. I love that it happened.
It did definitely happen 3 times.
2016 feels like forever ago now.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
When does?
2016.
Oh, it was forever ago.
Right? And that's the last one. I mean, the first one was 2009. I mean,
I went to see that one with my dad.
Now. I mean, that's a long time.
That is a long time.
Wow. You're right. 2009.
Also, but
My
it's just
goodness.
so fun when Star Trek movies come out like around the holiday time. It's so nostalgic because so many have done that. Like I have such great memories of TNG movies coming out when I was little, and then sneaking. We had a big family, and it's super expensive to buy concessions at the movie theater for like 5 kids. So I would wear a big jacket and sneak in Raisinets. Everybody,
Raisinets.
Every time I see like a winter release of Star Trek, I immediately think of like those fun times.
So our good buddy War Dog Heim says, okay, folks, that like button is sitting there and some of you need to give it some attention. And our friend Robert Kaiser, who's very observant, says, fun how the women get distracted by cleavage and the men continue talking about the movie.
It was the jewelry.
I got distracted by the cleavage.
I admit it. I couldn't even see any jewelry.
Well, I saw the necklace between, and then there was this chainy bit that went around her cleavage. It was adorned in jewelry.
Adorned.
I wonder, just with the like the inclusion of so many people that are like from like WandaVision and the Marvel world, like what kind of impact that's going to have as far as people's feelings about, oh, is this real Star Trek? Is this in the the vein of that kind of thing? Is it just going to be sort of like flashy action sequences without much brainy stuff, or
It was just me, but I really liked Star Trek Beyond. I know it didn't do as well in the theaters, but it felt more like regular Trek to me. It wasn't. I mean, there were action sequences, but it felt like there was depth to it too. There was an interesting plot, and there was a connection to Enterprise with the Mako guy. There's a lot of stuff in there I thought was pretty cool.
I've got a qualm with it. What?
But I will.
You didn't see it. No wonder you were conspicuously quiet when we were talking about this. It's like there's something wrong with Anne-Marie.
I have the pleasure of getting to see the other two still, but I love it because it obviously brings in so many new Star Trek fans to the franchise.
Well, I had a couple qualms with Star Trek Beyond. I know a lot of people were saying that was the one that felt the most like Star Trek.
You weren't in it,
and I probably agree. Yeah. So it didn't feel like Star Trek because I wasn't in it. But I mean, like for me, that Beastie Boys scene, like the Beastie. I'm like, first of all, you got Beastie Boys playing, but then the same song in 2 movies. I was just kind of like, really?
Oh yeah.
Again, I mean, that was the one time where I was like, okay, I gotta take a break here because that's a little weird. I don't need that much Beastie Boys in my Star Trek. I felt like it was a clash in my brain.
And not more Magic Carpet Ride. Cool. Not even more Magic Carpet Ride, like in First Contact. I'm sorry, I interrupted you, Anne-Marie.
No, I just am shocked always that they didn't do Intergalactic in the Star Trek movie.
I hope it's the story about them actually going out into the galaxy and exploring something and finding something cool out there, and instead of they all seem to be stories that are taking place on or around Earth and stuff like that. So
cheaper.
Well, I guess Beyond,
because they got to work on location, and it's just a lot cheaper to do it on Earth.
Beyond started that way though, didn't it? Because like it was Chris Pinekirk was like tired of the mission and things like that in the very beginning of Star Trek Beyond. It was just kind of like, okay, we've been exploring. What now?
No spoilers for Anne-Marie. It's only been 6 years.
Yeah, and we heard people talking about it for 10 years.
Well, a lot of people in the live chat are talking about something
Oh my gosh, what?
So we might as well just talk. Well, actually, before we get into that, do you guys have any hopes or wishes or predictions
Or dreams
for this new Star Trek movie in 2023? My hope and wish personally is just that it does come out in December of 2023, because a lot of times when people say production's coming out in X amount of years, sometimes it gets delayed to March, and then they go summer explosion, or what. Then it's stay tuned, September, here we go, So if it really is going to have that fast of a turnaround to where it's 22 months from now, that would be awesome. We didn't hear you, Mohamed.
I just said that would be epic.
Okay, there it is.
Sorry.
You guys have any guesses though as to what they're going to do?
Save the whale.
A movie?
Don't they sometimes mirror like what was done in the TOS movies?
Yeah.
Well, they did for the
in
second one, but the third was just on its own. I mean, they
the one was they didn't search for anybody.
They didn't.
So maybe, so maybe they'll have some whales in this new one.
Beluga whale, horny beluga whales.
They'll save some sort of endangered species.
I wonder if they'll have some connection, even if not like a direct connection, but like some loose connection to what's going on now with the Paramount Plus ones.
Interesting, the way that they used to do in the 90s.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it doesn't have to be like direct cross, because I know they're in different timelines. Though I guess in theory, Giorgio could pop up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or like any Strange New World character, like in an alternate timeline. Wow, mind blown.
Or anybody from Discovery.
True.
Maybe it could be a Michael Burnham show.
And I wish Enterprise.
Yes, it could be a movie about Michael Burnham.
Maybe that's where Tarka's trying to go.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I can't even.
Oh.
They're all standing there. What do we do? And then Michael Burnham runs in and says, "I know how to save the day."
Tarka has way too small of a mind to get into the movies.
Tarka is going to say something one of these days to Book. He's going to die like at the end of Discovery season 4. Tarka is about to die, and he's going to say, "Keep away from the red matter," or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, what? That's a J.J. Abrams thing. Oh my god. Or whatever.
Did they reference it in season 3 of Discovery? They referenced the JJ timeline briefly.
Oh.
It was Kovic talking to Giorgio. He said something about, well, there's in another place, a ship went back, and I can't remember the exact quote, but it was something about that.
The possibilities are endless. So Scott's hoping for a Michael Burnham movie. Anne-Marie doesn't know because she doesn't watch Star Trek movies. She's not that big of a Star Trek fan. Doesn't really she'll watch Neelix Cooking with Leola Root 50 times, but won't watch the Star Trek movies.
No, that's not even true. I love Star Trek movies.
And Melissa, what do you want?
What do I want? Chocolate.
Ooh.
No,
yeah, me too.
And Deanna.
More Troy.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I don't know what I want. I want a compelling story to go along with the Flash. Flash is fun, and explosions are fun, but they get boring if there's no story.
Yeah, that's always the problem with the movies, because they have to be like, I'm just a Star Trek. Not that I don't love some of the TOS and TNG movies. It's just that I love boring minutia of their days where like nothing has to be happening like special effects wise, and that's just like the nature
like
of
Data's
the movie
Day.
Beast. I love Data's Day. Like watch that forever, and just that's not how the movies are made. But
there'll be a lot of glare off the consoles and stuff.
Yeah.
Gaylenda says
now, off of
Burnham,
Keiko's wedding
the
dress.
teen years.
Oh.
Well, my favorite thing about the first movie was seeing old Spock and those moments between old Spock and young Spock, and not just the like the nostalgia of actually seeing Leonard Nimoy on screen and his performance and all that, but just that storyline was a very good storyline. There was some like touching moments in there and some insightful things, and to have something like that, I think would be cool to tie in, old school TOS, and even if they could bring in an actor or something like that and do, obviously you don't want to like do the same thing and everything like that, but anything like that where I feel like if you can tie in the old stuff in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
I guess in Beyond there was that one scene where they showed the picture from the end of Star Trek V, right, of the cast.
Oh yeah, that was cute.
Oh yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
Oh, no spoilers for Anne Marie.
No, that's
he means in Star Trek Beyond meat.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah,
it's some totally
vegetarian
different.
Star Trek.
Oh, okay.
Vegetarian Star Trek, yes.
Yeah.
No, super excited to watch.
It has no ancestor bone in it.
So yeah.
Oh my God.
Great callback.
Oh my God.
Oh, does that mean Mohamed gets to read another one for us?
Yeah.
Oh,
sure
yeah.
does.
I have no shame. I'll do it.
Oh my gosh. That's my favorite moment of the main viewer.
Okay, let's
Ever.
find one.
Chug. No.
Do not even make him read the Garrett
No,
one.
no, I'm not gonna do the Ducat one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, come on now. I haven't seen these, so
Me
Oh
neither.
my, they're
I
out of
love
control.
Ducat.
Consortium on Facebook. You
Yeah.
can find them all.
Okay.
I want to see them here.
Oh my, Android
as
Media
as
Consortium?
as presented by the Virtual TrekCon crew.
Yes.
That page is so out of control. I have all the notifications set so that I can don't miss a thing.
So here's a fun one for Dr. Mohamed Noor to read out to everybody.
Fun times. Valentine's Day. Geez, would you look at that? I guess it's Valentine's Day. Would you mind watching the kids so I can get drunk and play video games with my friend?
It says two. Like, who else would that be for?
Happy Valentine's Day, Keiko.
From Miles.
Right.
They've been married long enough. Keiko might be like, I'll take the break. Go have fun.
She's the one who told Bashir he's free.
This is true.
Nah, don't read that one.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
No,
They get
Reliant.
out of
What now?
control.
I just saw Reliant.
That's
Same.
all.
There was
just
something
a
after
Reliant.
that.
I'm sure it was wholesome. I'll just imagine in my
Yeah,
mind
it's
something
very
very wholesome.
wholesome.
Are you reliant on me to cook you a romantic Valentine's Day dinner?
Replicate, yes.
That's probably
So-
what it was.
Let's see. Good thing this isn't live.
No,
So everybody was talking about this in the live chat earlier. And so they kind of already predicted what we were going to mention because this is kind of related. But Captain Picard has entered the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Re-entered.
Re-entered.
But he was there before. I mean,
Mhm.
Oh,
Melissa's trying to read the light. She's like, I don't see that anymore in the
I
live
don't,
chat.
I don't
it was way
Oh
back.
my
It
God.
no, I got a glimpse of it and all I saw was tongue.
no, Melissa, we're pat. That's gone.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it was exciting.
That's
It was
a
like
movie.
it was midway through that Doctor Strange video there. About midway through it, there was like you saw the back of a bald head and you heard that Captain Picard voice coming on. That was very, very exciting. It was only for like a couple of seconds though.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
So it's actually
commercial.
Professor X. But
Professor
hey,
Xavier.
Star Trek fans can be Marvel fans, right? I know Mohamed and I are. So what does this mean? Does it mean that with what's his name?
Might mean they're done
Doctor
filming.
Strange.
Does it mean
with
they're done
Dr.
filming Picard season 3 because he's like has free time to do other stuff?
Yeah, but then you got Doctor Strange and you got Professor X or whomever that mystery man was. Does that mean that crew, the Illuminati crew, is going to now be, in the MCU. Does that mean they're going to be bringing in the X-Men finally into the MCU? Or does that mean that Star Trek is going to have a Marvel crossover? Maybe that's a different universe.
That's what the new
Probably
JJ
the
movie
least
is.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
This is the quietest Anne-Marie's ever been. She's like, I have no idea.
I'm so bored. But Cerulean and Blue said they want a Murph stay, which I thought was really cute.
So you're right, Ryan. I incorrectly corrected you because I guess formally those original movies were not Marvel. I mean, they were Marvel, but they're not MCU. I guess you're right.
Right. They were Fox.
Yeah. Good call. I incorrectly corrected it.
Okay.
Incorrectly.
You guys really don't have any thoughts on I know Mohamed does.
I don't even know what you're
Mohamed,
asking.
what do you think? Do you know about the Illuminati? That was like an old crew with like Mr. Fantastic and Namor and Professor X and all that kind of stuff. I think that would be cool. I think either way is cool. If they do the X-Men or if they do that. What do you think?
They had others in that same trailer. They also had like the evil Wanda, things like that. So it seems like they're trying to bring in a whole bunch of different timelines and pieces of those comics in there. So I think it'd be really cool. I mean, I'm very excited to see more.
And I'm very excited to see that not everybody left this, except for Scott, Melissa, and Anne-Marie are all looking down at their. Like, boy, oh boy, maybe the live chat will entertain me. I didn't know I was going to get tricked into some Marvel talk.
Yeah,
right. Tell me about it.
Tell me when it's over.
Just kidding. I don't know.
Scott said, "Tell me about it," so he wants to hear about it.
I don't know enough about it to have good input. So I've watched some, but I'm not, I'm not up on all of it. There's so much content out in the world.
Scott Jensen starting to sound like how the Star Trek fans rage. He said, I don't know what I'll do if they mess up my X-Men. So Scott Jensen, I guess that means you like the X-Men movies. I liked them a lot. I thought they were really cool. But I mean, the MCU, that whole Avengers thing, like they really took movies to a whole new level. And I always grew up as a kid, a big fan of the X-Men. I didn't give a shit about the Avengers, but I can say the Avengers stuff was way better executed than the X-Men stuff.
Personally. An X-Man or a He-Man?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you like a He-Man or an X-Men?
But it was still like massive step up with the
exactly.
Avengers.
So if they want to bring the X-Men into the MCU,
win-win.
I'm all for it. Yeah.
Win-win. I'm with you.
I thought X-Men already were in a comic book universe. No? Like, why is this news? Don't they all belong to Marvel or DC?
Well, not in the sense of like who owns the properties and which studio is making it.
That was my incorrect correction thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So at the time, at the time, the Marvel movies were all kind of split up, and the X-Men movies were done by Fox, and like Spider-Man was done by Sony. And they're all kind of different. So they were still Marvel, but it wasn't like it wasn't the Marvel that we know as like Marvel Studios from like Iron Man going forward, where like
think of it this way, Anne-Marie. Everything was Star Trek, but for a while Paramount was doing the movies and CBS was doing the series. So it's kind of different.
For example.
Even that's confusing because they changed their name again today.
Scott,
that's because of Viacom.
Yeah.
Scott Jensen says, "This is the proudest I've ever been of you, Ryan."
Aww.
What did I do?
Oh, your enthusiasm for X-Men.
I'm learning so much.
Oh yeah. Well, Anne-Marie, who's your favorite X-Man?
I don't know. The one who was Patrick Stewart. Is he one? I don't even know.
Yeah,
that is an answer.
That's an answer. Professor Xavier.
That is an answer. Yes, then obviously him.
Cyclops.
I didn't like him in the movies.
Yeah, he was so Scott. I think they called it, right? Wasn't his name Scott in the movies?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Scott Sanders, I think maybe.
I can't remember his last name.
Okay, well, Mohamed.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite in the movies compared with who's your favorite from the comics?
Well, comics definitely was Cyclops. I loved Cyclops. I thought it was just so cool. I could like shoot that giant laser everywhere and stuff like that. In the movies, I mean, I really liked Rogue's storyline. I thought that was kind of interesting. I mean, especially from the very first movie, I thought that was really cool. I thought they overdid Wolverine. I was like, okay, Wolverine, whatever.
Yeah, they did it a little. They changed him up too. He was supposed to be like this short, stout Canadian gruff guy, and instead they got
a bright yellow outfit.
Yeah,
tall Aussie.
Yeah. What about you, Scott? Were you a big X-Men comics guy?
No, I didn't read very much of the comics. I liked the movies. I liked the first one a lot. I thought that it because it was really, it was had like a social justice kind of message. It was really, Bryan Singer who directed it. He's gay, and so the movie was a lot about like gay rights and things like that. Was the kind of mirror that it was talking about, mutant rights and broader speaking minority rights and things like that. And I thought that having a film that was a fun action movie with superheroes and stuff like that with this message was really interesting, because no matter how you came down on it, it was an interesting way. And that's kind of what I like about science fiction, to like talk about something without specifically talking about that thing, and there aren't mutants with superpowers, but if there were, it's not hard to imagine what that world would look like, as far as like what would people do and the laws people would pass, and would there be people who were coming to like round people up and put them in camps or take away their rights or things like that. And I think for me, like, I love Magneto and his backstory and the way they portrayed that in the movies. And he's this like the classic example of like the villain who doesn't think of himself as the villain, right? If you really yes. if you really get to like understand like where he's coming from and what he's trying to do. He thinks
he's a philanthropist.
Yeah. Was that a betrayal?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's doing what he thinks is right, and
he's Eddington,
right, and in the sense of like, I guess you could say like Thanos or something, but in a way of like, like what makes him the villain is that he's willing to do it at all costs, and it was also the sort of parallel between like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X was the sort of thing of like, Martin Luther King is like, okay, it's going to be nonviolent, and no matter what we do, it's going to be this nonviolent way of achieving our goals. And versus Malcolm X saying, well, hey, if violence is what it takes, and then that's what it takes. And I think that was another sort of thing that they were drawing upon, and the people that Stan Lee and those people in the early Marvel world doing the comics, I mean, they were coming out of the civil rights movement and things like that, and that's the stories that they were telling, and to see like a modern take on that, I think that was really well done, and I enjoyed that about the movie, because it wasn't just here's a bunch of superheroes fighting aliens, and to me, I like those X-Men movies better than I like the Avengers movies, and to me they hold up really well, and to me I think they're just, at least the first X-Men movie, I think is just a better film than all the really Avenger movies. Yeah.
When you say first, are you talking about first in order or first in like the prequels or the
release order when it was released?
X-Men, the very first X-Men movie that was made that Bryan Singer directed, when with Magneto's backstory and all that kind of stuff. I think that was.
I will say though, when those movies were going to begin to come out, and the first one, and we found out that Patrick Stewart was playing Professor Xavier, not only was it awesome as a Star Trek fan, but I was like, he is perfect. I mean, just it was just like that was perfect casting. Kelsey Grammer as the voice of the Beast was really cool too. But I liked it a lot. I mean, I want to ask everybody in the live chat. We saw that Scott was agreeing with you, Mohamed, that his favorite was Cyclops. When I was a kid, obviously, my favorite was Wolverine. I think a lot of kids' favorite X-Men was Wolverine. I also very much liked Gambit, because he had that French Cajun flair, and I'm a little Frenchy, and I also felt like he didn't quite get as much of the limelight as most of the others, you know. And I like Gambit. I really liked Rogue as well.
Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of good ones. But who are your favorites, everybody in the live chat? We'd like to know your favorite X-Men. What about you, Anne-Marie? Do you have a favorite? Oh, wait, you answered. That's right, Captain Picard.
Yeah.
It's interesting to contrast the political elements that you were talking about, Scott, from the X-Men as opposed to, say, the Sokovia Accords political aspects, because there's a lot of parallels in those two things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, where you know, what are we going to do about these people who have so much power? So I mean, one was like the lawyers here in the United States, or sorry, not lawyers, this like Congress here in the United States trying to limit the powers, whereas the Sokovia Accords was more this international thing because of this whole disaster in this fictional country, like trying to limit what everybody's doing. It's an interesting parallel between the two.
And the mutant stuff you were talking about, like that's a beautiful parallel. And then, you know, they definitely made it clear, you know, that it was an analogy. And it's so well done. And I hadn't really thought about the Malcolm X and Martin Luther King thing, but you're right. That was basically the two sides that Professor Xavier and Magneto were taking. They were both fighting for the same thing, but they had completely different methods of getting there. So they were kind of brothers, kind of enemies, and it was always flipping back and forth. Now they're working together. Now they're fighting each other. Now they're working together. Mm-hmm. So that's a really cool story, but I just hope that I want to see it. I want to see it in the MCU. I want to see how they handle the X-Men. I think it would be really cool. And do you guys think they're going to be bringing back the characters we already know, or are they going to be recasting?
I think as long as Hugh Jackman's alive, we're going to keep putting him in that outfit and making him,
because he's Music Man.
Yeah, that's the guy. Because I feel like he's one of those actors that's like defined a character and made the character him, you know. And it's like you almost, I mean, could you even like, I mean, I don't know how old he is right now, but I mean, he's always in such like awesome shape. He could probably still do it, you know. But it's like, how do you do Wolverine and not have it Hugh Jackman, just because he's just personified that character so much in people's minds, you know.
It's good precedent with Harrison Ford for Indiana Jones. You can do it quite late into life.
yeah. And Han Solo, like that Solo film, how kind of weird it was seeing another actor, you know, playing that role, even though he was pretty good, but it's like it never quite feels right, because you've seen one person for so many years playing that role, where like James Bond, it's like every so often they have, you know, they throw in a new guy, and it's this revolving door. You're not too attached to any one actor the way they present, even though, you know, people have their favorites and they said, oh, so and so did a good job and so and so didn't. It's you know, you can throw another actor in that role and still kind of make it work, where certain roles are so locked into a particular actor and their performance.
Well, speaking of which, everybody, so everybody, don't forget to tell us either in the live chat or in the comments below, tell us who your favorite X-Men character is, because that's actually very important to us. We're all closet X-Men fans.
Come out of the closet, Ryan. It's okay.
Anne-Marie has just drifted off the last 20. Melissa's in and out, but Anne-Marie has been out for 20 minutes. She's looking right now. She's Googling Star Trek memes. She's just like, give me anything to keep me awake right now.
If they cast Anne-Marie in the role of any X-Men character, who would it be? There you go. That's one for the
Rogue.
So,
and Melissa,
I started drifting off about Music Man.
Storm.
She could be
Jean Grey.
Well, it's time for the Star Trek Day trivia question of the day. And it goes a little something like this. In Star Trek Picard, what advice does Zhaban, is that how you pronounce it? Zhaban?
No, isn't it Zhaban?
Okay.
You mean Laris's husband?
Yeah.
That's what he said.
What advice does Zhaban?
Zhaban.
What advice Does Zhaban give Picard before the interview with the Federation News Network? Is it A, don't tug at your suit? Is it B, be the captain they remember? Is it C, remember who you are? Or D, give them hell? So what's the advice that Picard got before he got interviewed for the news agency? Is it don't tug at your suit, be the captain they remember, remember who you are, or give them hell? If you know the answer, do not say it. Everybody in the live chat, let us know your guesses.
These are so all over the place in
That's
difficulty
great.
range. I love it.
It's perfect. Yeah, different series, different difficulty. So let's talk very quickly while everybody's putting in their answers. They're all putting in the same, basically. Yesterday, the Seventh Rule got put out a new episode. It is our review of Honor Among Thieves, Deep Space Nine, episode 6. Sorry, season.
That was Sunday.
You're right. I'm sorry. I'm tired. It was,
I know.
how could I forget? It was the Valentine's Day special. What were we talking about?
Yeah.
Of course. It was Waltz. Everybody loves Waltz. It's a Valentine's Day special between Cisco
a romantic
and
dance.
Ducat. Yeah. Thank you, Anne-Marie, for catching that. So everybody check that out. That is now out for everybody to watch. Go to the Seventh Rule on YouTube and watch Waltz as a post-Valentine's Day enjoyment thing.
Treat, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah. And tomorrow, that's Wednesday at 6 p.m. That's 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. We have Falling Towers review of Black Lightning with Kasturi Marie. Black Lightning is another superhero kind of thing. So check that out. That's tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Then on Thursday, also at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, Kasturi Marie.
Kasturi. Okay, thank you.
And you're going to love her. You are going to love her. And let's see. So on Thursday, same time, 6 p.m., 9 p.m., we're going to have our review of the new Discovery episode on the Seventh Rule. It's going to be awesome. You're going to love it. Check it out. I don't know what the next episode is called, but we're going to review it. What is it?
Rubicon, isn't it? The Return of Anon and Rubicon. I'm pretty sure it's called that.
Well, if it rhymes, then it has to be.
Yeah.
So check all those out, and that is going to be this week. We will see you then. The answer is, of course, as everybody guessed in the live chat, everybody except Cerulli, no, except for JR Poole said C. Medallion said E. Your fly is open.
I love that one.
Want to be
Oh my gosh.
The answer is, of course, B. Be the captain they remember. Which is nice.
Which C? I thought C was like a viable answer too. I wasn't sure.
It's on the chat.
Don't tug on your shirt. All right. Well, Melissa Longo, where can everybody find you online if you want to be found? She's trying to decide if she wants to be found.
Twitter, all of those.
And Walking Aren't Made by Melissa?
Right now, I'm not sure. Right now, I'm not sure that I want to be found.
Walking Aren't Made by Melissa.com. That's the safe bet.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or YouTube. Melissa Longo. Just me.
Oh, that's a good YouTube channel. Love that one.
Anne-Marie, where can everybody find you online if you'd like to be found?
Well, don't bother if you're talking about X-Men. Just kidding. At Anne-Marie Siegel 1 on Twitter.
Okay, everybody, your homework is anytime during the week on Twitter.
Yeah, make sure you add me.
Tweet to Anne-Marie Siegel 1 on Twitter with pictures and GIFs of your favorite X-Men. like little factoids.
I'm
Like, did
gonna
you
learn
know that
so
Storm
much.
was born in Cairo? It's like little interesting factoids to like kind of trick her into reading it and be like, wait, I don't care.
No, I'm
That'll be
gonna learn
fun.
a lot.
And where can everybody find you if you'd want to be found, Scott Baker, if you'd like to promote your movie, Fifth Passenger?
Yeah, fifthpassenger.com. You can do that. Or looking on major streaming platforms, it's there. I'm on Instagram, Mr. Scotty Baker. So,
That's an awesome Instagram to follow. I love all the study cam pictures. It's so cool.
Lots of pictures of cameras and me in exotic locations like Ohio.
Oh yeah, that was a good series. Yeah.
Ohio.
Yeah. Seventh Passenger, the fifth rule. Dr. Mohamed Noor, where would you like people to check you out?
Sure. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, MAF like in Frank Noor and like November OOR. And on YouTube, if you just search for BioTrekkie, BioTrekkie. I have a new video. It's hopefully coming out next week. Fingers crossed. I'm trying to finish it up.
Nice.
But then new series next month after Discovery ends too.
Excellent. And everybody, you can find me on YouTube / Falling Tower, or YouTube / The Seventh Rule, or YouTube / Virtual TrekCon. Have we told you Virtual TrekCon 3 is going to be awesome? The award show is going to be freaking out of sight, and we're super excited. We're super pumped about it. We'll give you more information on it shortly. And I think that's it, right? I think we did it.
We say this podcast? No, that's a different show.
That's a different show.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, everybody at home, thank you very much for joining us. Please make sure you have subscribed to this channel. It's very important. It is vital. I mean, that's a strong word. It's important.
No, it is vital.
And we appreciate it.
You will love it.
And remember the like button. There's still a few of you who haven't hit it.
And remember, if you're cold, they're cold. Let them inside.
We're watching.
Melissa's Betazoid. All right. Well, everybody at home, thank you so much. Give this video a like, comment below, and subscribe. Share it with your friends. Tell them to subscribe. We are dangerously close to 1,000 subscribers. So let's just go ahead and get to 1,000 so it's not dangerous anymore.
Yeah.
And I guess that's it. So remember, when you are looking for the best Marvel Cinematic Universe talk and Marvel X-Men goodies, put it on the main viewer.